channel. Today we're going to do something really fun that I didn't know I wanted to do until all of a sudden I wanted to do it. So today we are going to talk about all of my yeses from 2020. Now these are just makeup products, but these are all of my yeses throughout 2020, and I've picked products from each section of makeup, so we're gonna, by the end of this, you'll have a full face of products to choose from. I've got multiple products of each section for a whole face. Anyways, before we get started, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me, and we will get started. So to begin, I wanted to start with the eyes because typically that's how I start my videos. So my yes for an eyeshadow primer is my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I don't know what I would do without this. It helps keep my makeup last all day, like my eyes, all day, and it helps with creasing because my lids are so hooded and there's multiple folds. This really helps with keeping those creases out, and I absolutely love it. Back in the spring, I went through this little period where I loved individuals, and my two favorite are from Essence, and they're Melted Chrome eyeshadow singles. This shade is called Zinc About You. It's a really pretty shimmery purple. I don't know if you can see that. And then this shade is called Golden Crown. There. And honestly, what I love to do with it is I love to create a halo with the brown on the outer side and the purple right in the middle. I loved these two for a very good period of time. Now we're gonna get into palettes. The first one that I fell in love with was back in March, and this is the e.l.f. Rose Gold Nude palette. It's really just got a bunch of purples and neutral tones. I fell in love with this one back in March. I just remember this one so vividly because I was just starting my makeup journey, and Ryan and I went to Las Vegas, and this was the only eyeshadow palette I took. So I had purple eyes for like 5 days. The next one of my yeses is from ColourPop, and it's called That's Taupe. I really think this eyeshadow palette is so unique. I don't think I've seen shades quite this brown and gray at the same time. I'm really enjoying it. This one's not super old. I think it came out at the end of summer, I think. But since then, it's definitely made it into my collection, and I do really enjoy it. I do have another one from ColourPop. It's called Baby Got Peach, and it is so bright and fun. I picked this one up back in the spring because I was so in love with peach looks. So this was the one that I knew I wanted. I have 3 more palettes of yeses, and the next 2 were pretty hard to choose from, but my one is my favorite, so you guys know what it is. But these are like they're large palettes, so there's a lot of options with them, and that's why I've fallen in love so much with them. The first one is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. This was actually the first large, it's actually like a medium palette for Natasha Denona, but this was the first one that I got from her, like a medium, larger palette. And I absolutely fell in love with it. When I saw the promotions for it, I was like, done. You don't even have to tell me. I'll get that when it comes online. It was pretty instant, and I got it within a couple days, so I was really excited about it. I've fallen in love with it. I love that palette so much. My next one is the Natasha Denona Biba palette. I did do a 3 looks with 1 palette with this one, and I think because of that video, that is why I've fallen so much in love with it, because I had so much fun playing with it and doing different looks, especially the last one I did because it was so out of my comfort zone, but I ended up loving it so much, and I just think the options with this one are endless, so I love it. And of course, my Tati Beauty palette. We cannot go through 2020 and not put this in a favorites. I mean, come on. It's stunning, beautiful. So for my next category, we're gonna go into primers and foundations. Obviously right now I have been using the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I think I use this in just about every video. I'm absolutely in love with it. I love how illuminating it is, but it's also really tacky, so it helps keep my makeup stay put. Love this one. My next 2 I actually like to mix. I like the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer Hydrating one. I like to put this everywhere on my face, and then I like to take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and just put that in my T-zone, and these together are a dream. I love them so much. They help keep my oils at bay, and then they also help keep my face very hydrated and looking skin-like. Love them together. For foundations that I always put over one of these 3 primers, when I was first beginning, I fell in love with the Bounce Beauty Blender foundation. I loved it. I loved how full coverage it was. I loved how long it lasted. The only thing I didn't know at the time is that this one actually transfers pretty good. I don't know why it didn't bother me. It bothers me now, but at the time I absolutely loved it. So it is still a yes, because I still love how full coverage it is, and I still love the finish that it leaves on my skin. The only thing I don't like about it is that it does transfer. From there, I started dabbling in a little bit of like BB creams and tinted moisturizers and things like that, like light coverage, but still got rid of my redness on my cheeks. And I came across the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and I love this. If there's ever a day where I don't want to get ready, but I know I have to do something, this is what I put on. I love it to death. It takes away my redness, and it just sits on my face, and it looks like my skin. I love this one if you're looking for a simple, like you have to do something, but you really don't want to do anything. This is what I would choose. One of my more recent foundation loves is the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I love this one. I think the finish on it is flawless. It's so beautiful. I love how full coverage it is. I love the finish on my skin, and it lasts all day for me. Love it. The only downside is the bottle is like poorly designed, so a lot of it falls into the lid. But other than that, the foundation itself is beautiful. My 2 absolute favorite foundations of the year are the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte and the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear. These 2 foundations do not budge once they're on. They don't transfer, they don't move, they don't crease, they don't flake, they don't make me look cakey, nothing. They are literally my definition of a perfect foundation. Next up, we have concealers, and I have 3 concealers for this year. The first one is the Beauty Blender Bounce Concealer. Honestly, what I loved about this is that I loved the way this one wore on top of the Bounce foundation. I loved those 2 together. The finish was perfect. It didn't make me look cakey. This had enough coverage to cover up the purple under my eyes. I thought it was beautiful, especially with that foundation. I also really enjoy the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer from Urban Decay. I'm bummed about myself because I got in the wrong shade, but I love how it looks. It's super full coverage, so it covers up the purple. It doesn't leave any cakiness under the eyes, and it's very good at brightening, especially when you've got way too light of a shade. But I'm sure if it were closer to my match, it would still be extremely brightening. And then of course, my go-to, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Love this one to death. I love the finish of it. I love how much it melts into the skin. I love the look of what it does under the eyes. It's never cakey. This one never fails me. Love it to death. For powder, I've fallen in love with 2 different powders this year. My Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder and my Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. This is called Translucent Peach Whisper. I didn't know that. That's cute. This one is super mattifying though, but I love that even though it looks like it's got a tint to it, when you put it on over your concealer, there is no tint. So I absolutely love that, and especially for hot summer days, this is a dream because it really sets down your T-zone, and anywhere you don't want any shine, this is gonna set it. I love the Laura Mercier one just because I don't always need a super mattifying primer or super mattifying powder, especially like in the winter when I'm not so oily and more dry. This one keeps me fresh and also sets the makeup, and I do really enjoy both of these. Because this is the portion of where I would have my brow intermission, but we don't really need one today, I'm going to do my brow products. The first one is the M Cosmetics Brow Cream. I use the shade Brunette, and I absolutely love this. This stuff sticks. Once it's in your eyebrows, they're not going anywhere. They're not gonna budge for the rest of the day. And I also really enjoy the Benefit Gimme Brow. This one is absolutely my go-to one. I love the way the shade matches my eyebrows perfectly, but I love the way I can manipulate each brow hair and really set it where I want it. And the best part is, it doesn't budge. My brows are gonna stay the same the whole day. So for mascaras, I've kind of got two different things for them because I actually really enjoy eyelash primers and then putting my mascara on top. I don't know why, I just really enjoy doing that. I really enjoy them. So the two primers that I've really enjoyed are the Tarte Opening Act and the Marc Jacobs Velvet Primer. I really enjoy both of these. This one is white, which most primers are actually white. And this one is not though. This one's actually like tan. And I really enjoy both of these. I typically switch every other day on which one I use. I don't know why I like them so much. I don't necessarily know what they do other than create a little bit more volume, but I don't know. I just really like them. So if you do like eyelash primers, those are the two I would say yes to. Anyways, to go on to mascara, I've got 4 mascaras here in front of me that I really fell in love with throughout the year. And one is actually very new, but I've worn it every single day since I've tried it. My first one is the Lights Camera Lashes from Tarte. I love this one so much. I thought it gave me such voluminous eyelashes. I used to wear it like constantly, and then lately my bottle has kind of dried up, so I haven't been reaching for it as much, but I don't have the energy to replace it. But if you are looking for a good voluminous mascara, I would recommend this one. The other one that I'm liking is the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I actually just bought a new tube of this one, so I've been using it. This one too, this one also lengthens. So I really like this one. It's voluminous and lengthening, and this doesn't smudge at all. This one can get a little flaky sometimes depending on the day, but this one doesn't budge at all, and I absolutely love it. The next one is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. This one too is actually kind of new to me, and it's from the drugstore, which, I mean, I've seen it a million times and never thought to pick it up. But then I started seeing some reviews on it, and right away, I fell in love with it. I think the voluminous part, the voluminous claim, is 100% accurate. This is a very good drugstore mascara. And finally, my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension Mascara. This is what I've got on today. I have fallen in love with it. It's a tubing mascara, so it does have the volume to it, but it's very lengthening, and I've worn it every single day since I've got it. I can't say no to it yet. I can't switch it out yet. I love it too much. Moving right along, we're gonna go into bronzer. I found 3 bronzers that I really enjoyed this year. The Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, my Estetica Sunset Bronzer, and the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer. I love each of these. I think they all leave a beautiful glowy finish on me, and depending on if I'm in the mood for cream or powder, I would pick up any of these every single day. My blush category is a little intense because I really like blush. Some of them are new, some of them are not. To start my year back in the spring when I was first dabbling into blush, the first one I ever got was Essence. It's called The Blush, and this is in the shade Beloved, and I love it. For very simple days, it's just a beautiful pink to me. I still grab for it. I don't know why. It's not super fancy. I think it was like $1 or something because Essence is a pretty affordable brand. And then I went into Honest Beauty and I picked up their Peony Pink. And this cream blush, I figured out, if I can open it to show you. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I figured out this cream blush is beautiful under powder, but also on top of powder. So you can use it either way. But I fell in love with it. Again, it's another bright pink, but I think it's stunning. And then I started to dabble a little bit more into cream blushes. So I picked up the Fenty Beauty cream blushes, and I love these. I especially love Strawberry Drip. That's the shade. Again, a very bright pink. And then when I decided was like, I want to expand my blush collection a little bit, I purchased the Summertime Wine from Fenty. And this one's kind of a deeper plum shade, and it's also got a little bit of shimmer in it. So I love both of these very much. I'm not against face palettes, so for blush, I picked up the Naked Urban Decay Cherry Highlight and Blush Palette. And this blush and highlight palette has been through some. I love this so much. I still love it. I think each shade in here is beautiful, but the blush especially, love it very much. For more recent releases, I fell in love with the Rare Beauty blush. I think it's called like the Soft Pinch blush. Bliss is my all-time favorite color. It's the matte formula in her two blush formula shades. And then I also really like Love. So if you're looking for easy cream blushes, these two are beautiful. Very pigmented though, so go in very light-handed. And newest to my collection, I've got my Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA. And I was really skeptical to actually pick this shade up because when you see it online and you see other people like holding it like this, and even me looking at it like this, it looks like a bronzer, but it's not, and it's beautiful. I can't say enough about it. I haven't used the cream side yet, but the powder side is beautiful. Also newest to my collection, but you guys know I've been using like nonstop, are the M Cosmetic Heaven's Glow blushes in the shades Faded Clementine and Magic Hour. Magic Hour and Faded Clementine. These two blushes are beautiful. They've got a lot of shimmer in them, and Heaven's Glow was a perfect name due to that. Beautiful blushes. We're gonna go into highlighters now. I love highlight. I love having that extra glowiness on the face. My first one that I fell in love with is by e.l.f. I think it's a baked one, but I'm not sure. There's not a label on the back other than to tell me the shade is white gold. I think it's beautiful. I fell in love with it. I used it constantly. And really, you look at it and it's like you didn't make any sort of dent in it, but I used it a lot. I still use it. I still love it. Some other ones that I really like are from Ofra. They're Rodeo Drive. And trust me, it's Rodeo. It's not rodeo. Whatever. But I was watching YouTubes and I'm like, why are they saying rodeo? It's spelled rodeo. No, it's actually called Rodeo Drive. But it's a stunning champagne highlight, and I love it. Another highlight I love from Ofra is called Pillow Talk, and it is a beautiful pink. I love it to death. One of my favorite highlighters is actually from Becca, and it's their Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. I think this color is stunning, and it just melts into the skin. Just melts. It's beautiful, and you think just because it's champagne it doesn't go with every single look, but hey, I have like a bright pink and orange look today and I've got it on, and it matches perfectly. It's beautiful. Some newer highlights to my collection. The first one is from Charlotte Tilbury. It is her Hollywood Superstar Glow Highlighter. I haven't made too much of a dent into it yet, but this is beautiful. It's right up there with my Becca Champagne Pop. Melts right into the skin. Beautiful. This is my Hourglass face palette. They make one every holiday, and it's got 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, 2 finishing powders, and a highlight in it. I absolutely adore the highlight in it. Let's be honest, I love this whole palette. Love it to death. I could use every single shade in here and be perfectly fine. But the highlight, I absolutely love. It is one of my favorites. And actually, while I have this palette out, I'm going to tell you, if I had to choose finishing powders as well, these finishing powders are my yeses for this year. Love them to death, and they're these 2 shades. So if you know me pretty well, I don't really wear lipstick per se. I don't do lip liners. I'm very much a chapstick and lip balm person. But lately, I have been dabbling into lip glosses that have lip balm effects to them. So obviously my first one is my Smith's Rosebud Salve. This is actually a lip balm, and yes, every day, yes, love it. But for my lip glosses, I have collected a few that I do actually enjoy, all in the past maybe like 3 months though. So they're not full year yeses, but the past 3 months, absolutely yes. We've got Fenty Beauty, we've got the Gloss Bomb, and I just have this shade, Fenty Glow, their custom shade. This has got the sparkle and shimmer in it. And then she also just released the Gloss Bomb creams. I picked up the Fenty Glow and then Cookie Jar. I do have a review on these. It's my Huda and Fenty review. I'll link that above for you guys. But these are beautiful. Even without like the sparkle in them, these are still very stunning and do not feel like lip gloss at all. The next glosses that I really like are from Maybelline. They're these lifter glosses, and they've got hyaluronic acid in them, which I love. Hyaluronic acid is super good for you. It helps keep your lips moisturized, and it brings in water, basically. Keeps you hydrated. So I love these. My two favorite are in the shade Moon and then Topaz. These feel exactly like this, but with pink and champagne shimmer in them. I've also dabbled a little bit into Tower 28. This is more of a clean beauty brand, and I have 3 shades from them. I've got Cashew, Oat, and Magic. They're beautiful. When you first put them on though, you don't really see a whole lot of the color. You do kind of have to layer it up, but even layered up, there's not the sticky feeling. So I am really enjoying these. And finally, I love the Luxe Lip Oil from ColourPop. I reviewed this in my Boudoir Noir video, and I love it. I haven't been able to stop using it. So this is in the shade First Date, and again, I don't think the pigment is so much important in this because it's not really there when you put it on, but the feeling, the lip oil portion of it, it's just like a lip balm. It's not runny or anything like that. It's just perfect. I love it. Last but not least, once you have a full face of makeup, you can't just leave it there. You have to set it, right? I have 3 setting sprays that I do actually enjoy very much. The first is my MAC Fix Plus. I like to use this one to set, but I also like to use it with my eyeshadows to get more payoff for my eyeshadows. The other one I really like is by Too Faced. It's their Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray. And when it says mattifying, I mean mattifying. So combined with the mattifying powder, your face is not going anywhere, especially in the summer. And you're not gonna have any oils. So definitely use this with caution. If you have dry skin, I would not recommend using this every day, but if you have severely oily skin, or at least oily in the summertime like I do, this one is nice. And my absolute favorite one is from Flower Beauty. It is the Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray. I love this, especially after setting my face and using some mattifying products. This just brings back some moisture and keeps my face looking healthy and skin-like. Okay, I have been talking for a long time now, and I'm kind of out of breath. So I think this is a good time to tell you, these were my yeses for 2020. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are your 2020 yeses, and what products would you recommend? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear about what you guys like. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you would subscribe. That helps me keep this channel going. Other than that, I will see you in my next video. I post on Tuesdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I will see you then. Thank you. Bye.